Hi, I'm Aeon. This is a video. Oh my god. Oh no! Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to more Jump Dash. It is time for the big one. Alluding to the Promethean grind for a while now. I rolled it about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, probably almost. And I've said that I've been waiting for a new keyboard, which I have gotten. And I've also just wanted to prepare because for those of you who do not know, Promethean is known as one of the worst grinds in all of Geometry Dash. This level is infamous for being insanely choke point heavy, awfully second half heavy, and absurdly annoying to play. Fits me perfectly, right? That's what I thought as well. So I'm going to be taking you guys through Promethean, give you guys my thoughts and opinions. I've been playing it for quite a long time. As you can see, I have 50% already. I have 21 to 81, which is a really goofy run, and I have 57 to 100 4 times. I'm going to be taking you guys to talk a little bit about it and tell you guys to wish me luck. If you want to watch the Promethean grind every single day, I will be streaming it live on Twitch. I do start my streams very early. They start around 9 a.m. EST. So if you're in the US, I'm terribly sorry. If you're in Europe, however, I usually start at 3 p.m. Central European Standard Time. So that's the time you're going to be looking forward to. Let's hop into Promethean. I'm going to be using my start position switcher here so I can just like kind of jump back and forth. I'm going to be starting at the beginning just so I have better start positions because this level is start position hell. I'm not going to lie. Let's hop into it. So first and foremost, this song is really good. I really like the song. I think me liking the song is going to save me from pain and agony. The thing about this level is that the first jump, very hard. And the level just kind of like never stops being ridiculously hard. You just kind of get like thrown into it immediately. You never really get much of a break with this level, which I think is cool. I like that. I like the idea that you're just never allowed to chill with this level. The problem with that is that it makes the level itself like absolutely impossible. So anyway, this is like the first big choke point for me. This ship part right here is absurdly hard. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's curved, slightly slanted upwards. However, the spikes aren't even, and I think that's what makes it hard. The spikes with the platforms here, they are slightly further up, meaning that it is really steep, but also very elongated, which makes it very hard. So this ship part is one that has been giving me a lot of trouble, and is the main reason why I haven't really made any like significant progress from zero yet, I feel like, because I just can't seem to like get this part down properly, which is a little bit of an issue. It's a part that I've heard gets really consistent with time. You just have like a mental unlock of it where it just kind of like becomes easy at some point. Hopefully it doesn't bother me too much, but what I do is I do 1-2 and then do 1-2. So I do 2 fast clicks, 2 slower clicks, and then a third recorrectional click right before here. So I get into the portal. And then we have the wave. The wave I've been complaining about because I'm really slow. So the wave is not hard as much as it's just me struggling with just speed. The speed of the 4 clicks. It's kind of like standard 9 circles wave gameplay, which means that it gets very consistent. It's just very hard to get consistent with to begin with. It's an end level, so it doesn't really surprise me that it's kind of 9 circle-y. Anyway, and then we get into the UFO, and this UFO is like the first major choke point, and the thing that holds you back from making a lot of progress. I'm still in the process of getting good at the beginning, so the wave and the ship right before the wave is still holding me back quite significantly, which is a big reason why I'm not really making a lot of progress from zero. But once I start getting to this UFO, once you get into this UFO, this is like the first major choke point. And the reason why this is like the first like huge massive choke point is because of this. So just watch. Notice how tight this input right here is, and this one. Don't forget this one. This pink orb, absolutely vile. Look how small the margin of error is for this UFO click right here. It is absurdly tight. And it's just one of those clicks that you kind of get consistent with it in like a weird way. But this entire UFO part is so insanely hard, and especially not playing from it. If I play from the wave or earlier, I very rarely pass this UFO. I don't even know where to begin to explain it. It's the first major choke point. It's the first thing that really is a huge roadblock in this level. And that's just kind of how it is. Then we thankfully get into this ball part. This ball part is pretty easy. I don't know why. I think Rico was just bad at ball. He was not a proper ball faller like I am. The only thing that you really die to in this ball, that green orb. The green orb is like the one thing that you will actually die to, and it is very annoying because you can die to that. You either die to from clicking it too early or too late, and it's just like, ugh, such a stupid thing to die to. And that click is this thing right here. This green orb pink orb combo is like the hardest thing ever made, and I really don't like it because it's so finicky. Because you have to like hit the green orb in such a way that you like kind of just like sneak your way through these spikes, this spike, and then you have to hit this pink orb. You don't hit this, but you also can't hit it too late, because if you hit it too late, you'll die to this spike, and it's just a whole mess, right? This part is just a mess, and I don't like it. It's a very easy part to mess up, and dying to it is always frustrating. This doesn't look like a hard click until you realize that this spike and this is like almost perfectly aligned. This is like a near frame perfect input. I don't know if it is. I kind of doubt it is. It feels like it though, because you can go on streaks of just not passing this click for like 15, 20 attempts in a row, and it's really frustrating. So this is going to be a click that I die to a lot, and I'm not looking forward to it. And then we get into the 50 ship. This is where, to a lot of people, the difficulty of this level actually begins. Up until now, the parts have been hard, right? The parts have been difficult. They haven't been that hard. There's been a couple choke points, the UFO being the main one. The UFO is arguably top 3 hardest parts of the entire level. But that is one part that lasts for approximately 6% of the first 50% of this level. This is where the real difficulty begins for a lot of people. And the reason why is, if you can tell, these spikes are very uneven, and there's a portal here, a portal change, a gravity switch. And if you look here, you hit the gravity switch and they have to go up. And you can't see it here, but you have to go further up. And this is just such a massive gauntlet of ship control that I don't think a lot of people realize how absurd it actually is, right? So let me try and see if I can pass it once for you. There we go. As you can clearly tell, that ship is very hard, and it is the first major choke point of every choke point at the end. Pretty much once you get to that ship part, you are going to inevitably hit a point of consistency where you are getting to that ship part every couple minutes, and your goal is to just get lucky with the 1 or 2 choke points per part until the end, basically. The thing about the last 3 parts, which is the 50 ship, the swing copter, and the 70 ship, before the ending, is that all of them have like 2 clicks each that are absolutely unfathomably difficult, and your goal is to just get lucky with all 3 of them back to back to back, right? That is your goal. That's what makes it so hard. The thing about this part is that it's just brutal, and having to go through the first 50% of it every time you get a chance at it, it sucks. That's what makes this level so hard. For a lot of people, they enjoy this level up to the point where they start getting to 50 and the 50 ship all the time, and then once they start getting there all the time, that's when this level becomes horrible, because you just keep dying to it, because these parts so obscenely difficult to the point where you just do not gain consistency with it. That's the difficulty of this level. The difficulty of this level is just how inconsistent the last 50% of this level is. The last 50 is a lot of the difficulty, and it's mostly because of the fact that some of the things just don't get easier as you improve at the level, right? So this swing copter is kind of interesting in a way, I think, because I think this swing copter is deceptively easy. There are very big gaps. The gaps in this are very easy. The thing that makes it hard, and as I said like 12 seconds ago, there's like 1 or 2 clicks per part that are really hard. This saw blade right here is that 1 click in this swing copter. This swing copter would be so easy were it for this 1 saw blade. This saw blade is all of the difficulty of the swing copter, and I am not speaking hyperbole. That is quite literally all of the difficulty, and I don't know what it is. That saw blade is just the biggest hurdle ever created, because it is so finicky and it's just placed in such a weird way. And then, of course, we have the infamous 70 ship. This is Carol. Say hi to Carol. It is my favorite club set monster. You might be looking at this ship and might be thinking, how are you supposed to do this? This is not a straight fly. This is a smiley face. And you're correct. It is a smiley face, and it is absolutely impossible. Getting down here to this spike, or the space spike, very easy. Having the sharp movement to turn around at a 90-degree angle to go up again, that's the hard part. And, of course, the infamous 72 diagonal, also really, really hard. The 72 diagonal, I find to be the hardest part of this. I think up until 70/71, this ship isn't that hard. Like, it only really gets hard once you have to, like, go up here, right? That's when I think that this becomes difficult. And then you get into this cube. This cube is, like, deceptively hard, because no one, you don't really see anyone ever die to this. But then you play it for yourself and you realize that it's actually, like, really hard and it's very easy to die to. But there's only a couple clicks that you really die to, right? Like, you die to this jump. as I'm very clearly demonstrating right here that you do. You die to the first pink orb because you have to click it super late, and then you die to this jump. These 3 clicks right here, very hard. As you can see here, this timing, very tight. You can barely see it. And then, of course, the pink dash orb. Very tough, very difficult. And here comes the hardest part of the level, the last ship. Everyone loves to talk about this last ship part. When this level came out, everyone was speaking about how this is the hardest ship in any level ever made. This ship is absurdly hard. And when I say absurdly hard, I mean absurdly hard. I've done this ship about 130 times roughly across different runs. I am simply not consistent with the ship whatsoever. This ship is mind-blowingly hard. In style with the rest of the level, the hard part about this ship comes down to like a couple clicks. Like a lot of this is like very consistent. There's just a few inputs in particular that just don't get consistent, and that's what makes it really hard. It is 88, 89, 92, and for me personally, 95. 95 is kind of like a weird one. It's basically just the portal clicks. Now that I think about it, it's just the portal clicks. And then the big one that everyone dies to, this gap. I pass it here somehow. This, going up into this yellow portal is absolutely impossible, and I do not know why. This gap right here, it looks really big, right? Like, this gap looks massive. It's not. Don't let it fool you, because you have to get momentum with your ship to go up here. So difficult. And then I find personally this part to be really hard. You have to like go up here as a big ship 3 times speed to hit this portal and then swerve your way through here to then do the ending. Very hard. I think very underestimated. I think people kind of sleep on that timing, mostly because I suck at it. There we go. As you may have noticed, I am playing this on 360 FPS because there's no way that I'm ever going to be playing this on lower refresh rate. This is like one of very few levels that I'm like actively against playing on 280. I usually play VSync. I usually play on my native refresh rate. Not this level. No chance in hell. Promethean, way too hard. 113. There we go. These are my runs. As you can see here. I really want the 47 and 100 soon. I've died at 92 twice. Anyway, as I said, Promethean, the grind is going to be live on Twitch. Go check it out. Twitch.tv/AeonAir. I'm going to be live at 9 a.m. EST or 3 p.m. CET. For those of you in Europe who are in my time zone, this level is going to be a brutal grind. I know for a fact that this is going to be awful. I've been mentally preparing. I think this is going to be a really cool level to have under my belt. But this is also just like a known shit level. It's gonna be fine though. I think knowing that I'm going into something that this brutal is gonna help me in the long run. I think it's gonna help me just be prepared for the worst. So far, I am enjoying the level. I have had fun learning, getting consistent, and just playing it so far. However, I know that for most people, this level is fun up until the point where they start getting to the last ship like several times a day, and they just can't pass it because the last ship is impossible. And that's probably how it's gonna end up being for me as well. I'll see you guys around. Eat your green, stay healthy, stay hydrated. Thank you for making my day better. Hoping yours a little bit better too. Peace out, everyone.